Welcome to Azuelo Youth Development Talks, where we explore transformative ways faith communities engage with today's youth. In this episode, I'm meeting with Motseki for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
And before I introduce this topic to the audience, I want to introduce you to them. So tell me a bit about yourself and your journey until now.
So I'm the leader. I'm the father. I'm the husband. I'm a discipler, and I've been in ministry for 24 years now with the Student Christian organization. So that's me in a nutshell.
And why did you decide to do what you're currently doing today? What led you to this?
I didn't decide. I guess God decided. It was a response to a need that I was seeing in the organization. Christ says the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. So initially it was just me responding and say, let me give 1 year of my life in SCO, and that 1 year became 24 years.
Sure. What a journey.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear your perspective on the topic we're going to discuss, especially with all your years in ministry and serving. So, to our viewers, we're diving into actually not quite relevant, a very relevant topic for our youth today and for our churches. So, to introduce it to you, we dive into the digital reality shaping young people's lives, especially in South Africa, where the majority of youth are on their smartphones, immersed in social media. And how do we navigate platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and just this is where the youth are currently living their lives. My first question to you would be, how has the digital revolution reshaped the way youth engage with spirituality and with their faith?
I think for me, it has things closer to home. There's a lot of now information that is easily accessible and information that helps young people, to journey in their faith. But also it has created a platform for them to be able to share their faith, use the platform to spread the good. I think for me, this is the platform that we should not look at it negatively, but we should look at it positively and say, how do we use it to reach more young people with the good news of Jesus Christ?
Completely.
Yeah.
How do you then, in your hands, feel it's the best way to utilize these platforms to engage with our youth?
The reality is that young people are in that space. That's the world that they are living in. They are there every day, 24/7. So it's the space that we need to occupy, is the space that we need to use to reach out, and we can't ignore the space.
Completely.
And if we don't occupy the space, someone else is going to occupy the space.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be doing young service if we are not in that space.
Rely on making it relevant to them, what their lives look like on a daily basis. Like, how do we minister to them in their world, I think is a topic. But obviously with that poses a lot of challenges. What challenges not only for our youth, but also for our youth pastors to be with this digital revolution?
I mean, some of the challenges is dealing with the issues of influencers, content creators. And if we are not in that space of providing the alternative and being the salt and the light and influencers for Jesus Christ, then young people are going to then be influenced by other influencers that are not necessarily Christians, So I think it's a space that we need to be there, even in terms of that we create, the content that we put in that space. It needs to be created that actually speaks and seek to empower young people.
So you have your challenges, and obviously with challenges we need to come up with solutions.
Yeah.
So what opportunities do you see the church have minister to our youth during this period of time and how they can use their platform. So what opportunities do we have, not only as a church, but for those attending church too?
Opportunities, the space is there. It's easily accessible. Young people have access.
Yes.
So you have audience to yourself. So I think the church needs to come up with programs that are intentionally targeting young people in that space. And I mean, this can be from coming up with content for Bible studies, content for training, content for discipling them. So the church needs to be able to say, what are the young people facing today? What are the issues that they are facing as challenging? How do we speak to that? So for me, it creates a great platform for teaching, but also for walking the journey with young people in that space.
It's amazing to see then our evolution, our digital discipleship evolution unfolding.
Yep.
But we speak about teaching our youth and teaching our ministers how to use these tools is quite a challenging process. And then it comes with a whole bunch of risks. What do these risks look like, and how do we mitigate that as a church and as youth pastors when using these platforms?
Yeah, I think some of the risks young people are facing, they can be too much dependent on social media, and find themselves in a space where they are too much dependent, and try to sort of get their identity from that space, so we need to be able to provide alternatives to the risks that are there. I think something that the church needs to think of and say, how do we help young people? And it can be issues of bringing awareness of the risks, or spending a lot of time in the space, and also providing alternatives, like taking a digital Sabbath every week, to counter the risks that are there, but also helping young people to be able to discern what is good and what is not good for them in terms of the content that is there, who to follow, who to unfollow. So it's some are there, and if we are there as young leaders, as pastors, we'll be able to guide and offer a voice of clarity.
Yes. So then what does that look like practically? So in your perspective and with your just your entire journey, you've been in this industry for 24 years, you know what it's like. What could a strategy be implemented around how do we then witness and minister using these platforms, especially to you going to a church where this is an unknown, they have no idea where to even begin? What is a strategy that a church can use to navigate this challenge?
I think the first strategy will be information. I think the church will need to get information of the media, get themselves informed of where young people are. And secondly, be intentional in terms of what are the programs that we're going to come up with in terms of being able to minister in that space. Yeah.
Follow-on question is, how can churches then build digital literacy and resilience among youth?
I think it goes to having a clear program and clear content. For example, if you are Bible study,
Yes.
you need to have those resources in place. Your teaching needs to speak to the issues that young people are facing, and in such a way you are building their faith. You are building them as young people. To be able to they are in Christ, and also to be impactful to their peers.
Yeah.
So I think that input is critical.
One final question just to ask you is, how do we then, the Bible is all around relationship and relation, and how does a youth leader then navigate the balance between having a digital presence and then still being relatable and actually alongside individuals?
I think for me, it's balancing the two, because the digital space does not young people still need to know that they are in the world and they can't hide in the digital world.
Yes.
So it's balancing that and say you can have your moments in the digital space, but you need to know that you are part of the real world, interact and build meaningful relationships that you interact with every day. So you can't hide and say, I'm called into social media space only.
Yes.
You are still part of life. You still need to interact with the people. So it's a balance, and to be taught that balance. And I believe that people who have experience can be able to bring those nuggets for young people.
It's a very interesting space to be in, and so it's very interesting to watch this journey unfold. And thank you for all your guidance on the youth every single day as you navigate these challenges and these journeys. And I think just for our youth and just for our audience as well, I think it's so important to continue to have these types of conversations which challenge us. They're not easy ones to have, they're hard topics, but they are important topics because our youth are our future, and we want to see Christianity continue to grow and to thrive. And we need to do that by building relationships and using what we've got in the world, but also remaining in the world, but not of the world. In the world, not of the world.
And I think we need to do our as leaders to empower ourselves and understand that space so that we're able to contribute meaningfully instead of just being negative and not understanding opportunities that the world still, the digital space still offers. So also be out there and learn.
Of course. Motseki, I want to give you the floor. If you have any final comments or anything that you'd like to encourage our audience with, whether it be a Bible verse or just a nugget of wisdom, before we say goodbye to them.
I think relevancy is very important. We are called for such a time as this, and it's very important that we become the light and the salt and realize that we need to be present where young people are, be able to bring a meaningful discipleship in that space.
Thank you, Motseki. That was beautiful to end off. And so thank you for joining me today. And thank you to our audience. And I just encourage you to continue to have the hard conversations and meaningful ones too. Thank you.
Thank you for
Only a pleasure.